Hello, YouTube world. My name is Ashley Kelly, and I'm going to be starting my very first blog called Sincerely a Teacher. I got the idea from this from thinking about all the different topics and things that are close to my heart. And I've had the opportunity to have conversations with a few teachers here and there. But what normally happens is these are topics that people don't want to talk about on a big platform. And my issue with that is that a lot of times we feel the same way about a lot of things, or people have great points that they don't necessarily feel comfortable bringing up. And so I've taken the different conversations I've had and the different opinions that I have, and I've kind of made a compilation of topics and things that I would like to discuss and would really like to get your feedback in on. And also, if there are things that you would like to talk about but don't necessarily want to use the platform, you would rather just type in your question, do that. Because I'd love to talk about it because teaching is one of those jobs that it's constantly evolving and it is wonderful, but it is also a challenge. There's no handbook to teaching. There's no teacher survival guide. Granted, there are books with that title, there's a ton of them, but there's no true teacher survival guide because every classroom in every state, every teacher, every background, it's all different. And so, what it creates is a different scenario every time. My first thing that I wanted to talk about is a topic that's very close to my heart, and I didn't realize how close it was to my heart until I noticed that no one else felt the same way that I did, at least not that I've talked to. And that's the fact that teachers have to be perfect. That as a teacher, you have to be 100% all the time. You can't have a bad day. You can't have a rough day. You can't have a rough moment. Those things are not allowed. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think that is one of the biggest lies in the teaching field. Honestly, it's a disservice to our children. We want them to grow up and be empowered. We want them to be individuals who are aware of their emotions, who know how to healthily that is not a word, who know how to express their emotions in a healthy way. Healthily might be a word, but it does not sound like one, so veto that. Forget that was there. But we want them to understand how to express their emotions, how to talk to people, how to talk to people about what they feel. These are all things that we want them to do, but if we don't do it, how are they going to learn? Yeah, you could live in the perfect world where the parents are going to teach them this, but in a realistic world, in the world of a teacher, you always teach them with the understanding that you might be the only one teaching them this lesson. Whether it's math, whether it's social emotional skills, you might be the only person that is taking the time to teach them this. And so, with that being said, it's okay to not have a good day. That doesn't mean that you can't come in the room. It doesn't mean you can come in the room screaming and shouting. Like, that's not okay. But express how you feel to them. Little people love knowing that you trust them with your feelings. I've done this on numerous occasions, and even though other teachers that I talk to don't feel this way, they're like, no, I have to be 100% all the time. I don't feel that way, and it's worked for me. Um, I do a check in with the classroom in the morning. We all have carpet time, we have a check in. And I ask them with their thumbs, like, show me how you're doing. Is it a good morning? Is it an okay morning? Or is it a rough morning? And well, at first, they didn't understand. They kind of were trying it out, but now they all understand how to do it. So they can tell me, and you always start with the people who are having a rough morning. If they're having a rough morning, then you start with them. You're like, well, why are you having a rough morning? If you have the age group I have, I teach preschool. Some kids have a thumb down every morning, and it's the exact same reason every morning. Every morning, it's I'm having a rough morning because my dad went to work and he left me. It's like, okay, well, he'll be back. That's all right. But sometimes it gives you an opportunity, especially once you have older children that can verbalize their feelings better. It allows you to really get an inside look on their lives. They could be having a rough morning every morning, but it might be a different reason. Or it might be because, mom is gone and big sister didn't get them breakfast, and that could be happening every morning. But now you have an understanding of how they're feeling and why they're feeling that way. And it's only fair to give that back to them. You can't expect them to give you something that you won't give them. If you won't give them honesty and if you won't give them your true feelings, don't expect it back. And so I do that. Like when I do the thumb check in with my kids, I do it too. I tell them sometimes I'm like, guys, I'm having a great morning. I got lots of sleep. I got some coffee because all my kids know I love coffee. And so they understand. They're like, oh, she's having a good morning. And sometimes it's an okay morning. It's like, guys, I'm just kind of tired today. Very seldom have I said I'm having a rough morning, but it's things like that. Expressing to them how you feel, talking to them about why you feel that way, and allowing them to do the same thing back, because that's creating a positive classroom. That's creating a school family where everyone feels like they have a voice and it's heard and it's valued. But you're also modeling for them what emotions are. Because, of course, kids think their teachers are happy all the time and every day is a great day and they don't understand why they're angry. But that's not real life. Real life is you could have an awful morning. We all have personal lives. Your personal life could have created a serious damper on what's going on. And telling the children, honestly, it makes me feel better. It's like releasing that burden. Like, you know what, guys? I'm having a rough morning. I'm so happy to be here with you guys, but my morning's going kind of rough. And you don't have to tell them everything. If it's simple, like I got a good night's sleep and breakfast, you tell them that. But if you and your husband got in a fight that morning, that's not something obviously you're gonna tell your kids. But you sugarcoat it. You're like, I had something happen at home this morning, guys, and it really bothered me. So I'm kind of having a rough morning. And you use that to create a learning experience. The kids obviously are going to tell you, well, I had a bad morning, or when this happens, I have a bad morning. But you use it to talk about emotions, how to work on emotions, and different ways to self regulate. Okay, when you feel sad, you do this. Well, when I feel sad, I do this. Or what makes you feel sad? Really? Well, I feel sad when people argue. And you talk about these things and then you use it to, well, how can we work on not feeling sad? Or how can we work on making ourselves feel better when we do feel sad? And out of out of that small moment where you decided to talk to your students about how you felt, you've been able to create a whole learning moment. And if the kids go home and tell their parents or tell the teachers, you haven't told them anything negative. Well, Miss Kelly had a rough day today. And she said that when she has rough days, sometimes she drinks coffee or sometimes she'll eat a piece of chocolate and it makes her feel better. You're human. These things are okay. So that's some food for thought. What's your opinion? Do you think that as a teacher you should be 100% all the time and only show your children positive emotions? Or do you think it's okay to tell your children how you're feeling? Whether you're a sixth grade teacher or a preschool teacher, how do you feel about this? Do you feel like you are tarnishing your image if you express to your children how you truly feel? I hope you guys enjoyed the blog. And like I said, please, please, please write down in the comment section what you think, what you like, what you don't like, and any questions that you have, because I'd love to talk about them. See you guys later.